Suncoast students, good to be tuned back in, presenting to you here from Jacksonville at our main terminal. We're out here on the yard. I know Leonard Wade, our traveling recruiter, was recently down there, and y'all had some questions for him. It's been great being able to bring you up here to our main terminal where you're going to do your orientation for the people who obviously decide they want to drive for Cypress or Sunbelt. So we've got a lot of recent grads up here that have gone through the Suncoast Trucking Academy school and have done a great job and great drivers for us, currently great drivers for us. If you look back on the Cypress page and look at some of our previous presentations, Doug Parker, we did a recent Q&A with him. He was a driver who had just finished up his training with Kevin Barrett. He's down there out of the Bradenton, Sarasota area, down by Punta Gorda, and he was talking about some of the challenges that he had to embrace after getting out of training and learning some of the new aspects of being on his own. So what I'm going to do is just kind of go over some of the stuff that you'll find in some of the previous presentations, and since we have a new class and fresh faces in there, we want to get you up to speed. We got a beautiful day out here, and we'd like to show you several different aspects just of what we have going on, and some things that we think that are important questions that you all want answered. And what better way than to be able to bring you up here and show you all around. That way you can kind of make a more educated decision on your choice of where you want to begin your career once you graduate your program down there. Lewis, the director down there, classroom trainer. Doug Parker, I just talked to him earlier today. He wanted to make sure that I told you hello. It's currently a little after 3:30. It's December 4th, 2018, and we're looking forward to the 2019 year. But as far as there's so many different people that come from so many different industries to come into this industry as a driver, and it's a lot to learn. It's a lot to take in. There's so many different options for you coming out of school, and that's what we want to do a good job of, is educating you on what to expect when you get here. So once you complete your program, which you're going through right now, and hopefully you're having a great experience, you will put in an application at some point if Cypress is where you want to be or of interest to you. Just so you know, specifically for the Suncoast students out there, we hire out of the southeast and southwest region. We have our main terminal here in Jacksonville, which is where I'm at today, and then we have terminals in Tampa, Florida, Atlanta, Georgia, Wilmington, North Carolina, South Pitt, Tennessee, and Abilene, Texas. So that's kind of our hiring area, and all throughout those places we have different options and different opportunities. Now specifically for you all down there is Suncoast. How the process would work for you is you put in your application. If you do get approved, which hopefully that the ones that apply do get approved, we look at your MVR, your background, your work history, and if you meet all those criteria and get approved, then we work on scheduling you for orientation. We typically start orientation up here on Mondays. And so coming from South Florida, where most of you live at, you would be coming up on a Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, checking into the Quality Inn over by the airport, and then what we do, we come over and pick you up about 7:30, 7:45 on Monday morning to begin your first week orientation, and we take you back and forth to the hotel each and every day. Orientation is 1 week long. Your first few days, Monday through Wednesday, is your physical, drug screen, paperwork, going over company policies, some instructional videos, and then once you typically the drug screen results, we do a hair follicle drug screen. That's important. That's a big question for, unfortunately, a lot of people that definitely need the answer to. But we do a hair follicle, and it can go back up to a year. There's Robert Bowles right there. He's got a trainee with him. Robert Bowles is one of our veteran drivers. We'll go over here and talk to him while we got him on the hook. He's about to park. He's from Avon Park, which is not far from y'all, the Frostproof area. and he's been with us for a couple years now, and he's a trainer for us. So there is a possibility that anybody that comes up here could train with Robert. So the Thursday and Friday of your orientation week, you would be working on setting the foundation, learning the fundamentals of flatbedding. Obviously, we're a flatbed company. We haul a lot of building material, a lot of sheetrock, lumber, shingles, insulation, steel. Now, fortunately for us, we're a 100% company, been in business a long time. We're a mid-sized carrier running about 500 trucks company-wide, but we have a strong customer base. So a lot of our loads, fortunate for you, is preloaded, pre-tarped. I know that's one of the big apprehensions people have coming out of school, is wondering, you know, the ins and outs of flatbedding, and is it something that I want to do? Is it something I'm capable of doing? I can promise you most anybody can do it. There is a physical element to it, which is a big reason why a lot of people come here, is because you're not just driving a truck. You know, you're able to get out, get out of the truck, secure loads. But again, the majority of our loads are preloaded, pre-tarped. It's a lot of drop and hook. And you know, you're either going to pick up a preloaded tarp or preloaded trailer and deliver it, or you'll drop it on one of our drop yards. I don't know if you want to talk to this guy or not. What's up, Mr. Bowles?
What's going on, Mr. Hamlin?
We got a live presentation. So right now, everyone, this is Robert Bowles. He's one of our trainers. Do you mind talking?
No, not at all.
Okay, so Robert, how long have you been with Cypress?
Been with Cypress 2 years at this point.
2 years at this point. So me and Robert are pretty tight. That is one of the fun parts about being with Cypress, is that most everybody knows everybody. You know, the drivers get to know the people in the office, and obviously the owners of the company. You know all the owners.
Hey, you're not just a truck number here, you're a name. Everybody knows you by name around here.
Which is a big reason.
Awesome.
That is awesome. So I tell people this all the time, is your commitment coming out of school. This industry is known for turnover. There's a ton of opportunities. It's hard not to get sucked in. A lot of really good companies out there. We have a lot of good competitors. Unfortunately, there's a lot of companies out there too that don't necessarily leave a good taste in drivers' mouths. So it's hard to distinguish, what's right fit for you. Obviously, everybody has a different experience with the company they go to, but one of our biggest pools of hires is our rehires, drivers who have left for an opportunity and then end up coming back saying, man, I want to come home. And Robert just happens to be, if you don't mind me talking about this,
nope,
do you?
Not at all.
So Robert had drove with us probably close to a year, and left for another opportunity. I think had maybe a little bit more home time where he could be home some through the week.
Exactly what it was.
And it wasn't maybe 6 months, 8 months later, you called back. He said, I'm ready to come home.
No, it
wasn't even that?
It was 3 months.
It was 3 months.
3 months.
It was 3 months. So, but regardless of who you go with, hopefully it's us, but, stay committed, stay loyal, hang in there. It's a big transition for people. And Robert, I don't know, I don't want to speak for you, so if you want to just talk about what you like about
Let me just say, first off, give it the first year. Don't judge before your first year is up. First year is going to be tough if you've never done this. It was tough for me. But you get past that first year, I guarantee you, with Cypress, it's going to be worth it, well worth it. They treat you like family, they treat you good. I never thought I'd find a job like Cypress. I love the company. They take care of me. They have always taken care of me. They've always treated me good. I come back, here I'm a trainer now. My trainee's over here in the truck. He's doing his thing. I'm trying to teach him best I can. My goal is to have a good, safe driver out there for not just the outside community, but for Cypress too.
Yeah, and so speaking to that is, not everybody can be a trainer here. There's a lot of people that want to, but the one thing that you can feel confident in is the people that are going to be training you, they hit on all cylinders. And we got a lot going on. We got trucks backing in here. We got trucks in front of us, so bear with us. That's kind of the fun part about being able to present out here, though. And what you're looking at with our trainers is they got to be approved by payroll, by safety, by operations, by the shop. to be a trainer. That way we know that the trainees are getting the maximum training experience. That way when you get through your 7 weeks, and that's one thing I need to touch on too, is that, you know, when you come out of school and come here, there's a week of orientation, 7 weeks of training. Some people love that aspect, that the company's willing to put that much time and financial resources into training you. Some people question why I'm just getting out of school. Well, the school aspect of it is to get your skill set where you need to be, to shift, to back, to get your Class A CDL. You know, and a lot of schools give a little bit more and prepare you a little bit more, but, you know, until you get out there on the road with, you know, somebody like Robert and learn the ins and outs, and again, every company is different, so their key is to show you the Cypress way for us. Obviously, first and foremost, the safety aspect of it, training you to be a safe driver. Secondly is your time management. Everybody's getting into this, you know, obviously to make money. You want a career opportunity that's going to be more financially rewarding, and time is everything in this industry. You got to, you know, worry about the things you can control and not worry about the things that are out of your control, and embrace the challenge. And like Robert said, you know, this isn't a vacation. It's an actual job. You know, it's work. It's going to be challenging no matter where you go. For those of you who've been in a career where you've been home every day, you know, what we do, we offer excellent home time. We're a Florida-based company. We let our recent grads coming right out of training that get assigned their own truck to run Southeast Regional, be home every weekend if you choose. Now, you don't have to. There's a lot of people that are coming into this industry, a lot of students that want to get out there on the road, see the country. We have OTR freight, but what we won't do is throw you right out there, send you across the country. We want to, once you get out of training, start you off in the Southeast, get your feet wet, let you experience some of these typical loads that we get, because when you go OTR, you're going to get some different loads. Is that correct?
You're going to get every different load that we haul. That's one thing I do like about Cypress also. They will run you how you want to run. If you want to run Southeast Region, be home every weekend, they're going to do their best to get you home every weekend. If you want to run 2 weeks out, home every other weekend, make that extra money, hey, they will run you just like you want to run, and they take care of you doing it.
Yeah, and a perfect example of that, Doug Parker, after his training, he thought that he could handle the 2 weeks out, quickly realized that he's going to need some more time running Southeast and being home on the weekends because he's got kids at home. And you know, I think that them adapting to it is just as much. So if you have a family dynamic, it's not only you being able to handle it, even if you love it, might have, you know, a loved one at home, a significant other that you know, realizes in an amount of time that they want you to be at the house more often. So that's something to consider. There's no way to really know how well you're going to like being over the road until you get into it. Fortunately, for where you live at, again, we don't have necessarily local positions. We got Florida-only positions, which can get some of our drivers home a couple nights through the week, home on the weekends. Southeast Regional will get you home every weekend. 250 turn, OTR. So we've got all that. But what we do is your first 6 months, we're going to run you Southeast to let you get acclimated to being on your own. And then at that 6 month time, it allows us to evaluate you too, to see what you're eligible for from a safety standpoint and a time management standpoint. The people who earn those short haul local positions, again, they've got to earn that reputation in order to be eligible for something where you're staying Florida only and picking up some of that local freight. So
I've also worked my way up and had my beautiful bride out there with me on the road.
Yep, that's awesome. So that's another question a lot of people have, is the Ryder Policy. So obviously I know Robert's wife pretty well. He's had her up here to the terminal, like he said. He had her out there on the road to experience what it's like to be out there. And she's not a truck driver by any means. She just went along for the ride.
She just went along for the ride. She loves to see the country, so I gave her the opportunity.
Where all have you been with Cypress?
I've been as far north as Rhode Island, New Jersey, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas. Oh my goodness.
So
I mean,
and he hits dead on the nail with what I present to people is, you know, most of the freight for Cypress and Sunbelt's East Coast, Midwest, and Southwest. You know, as I discussed the way the terminal's laid out, or our terminals are laid out, kind of dictate, you know, where the majority of our freight is. But again, you know, if you come in as a regional driver and want to go OTR, that's fine. If you go OTR, it's as simple as a phone call. Say, hey, listen, you know, I want to be home every weekend from here on out. Put me Southeast Regional. So a lot of flexibility here. And then again, just the atmosphere, the dynamic, the culture here, I think is what separates us apart. I know Robert has a ton of friends that are drivers here. Those guys are always, you know, back and forth, keeping each other up in the loop. Kevin Barrett and, you know, whoever else you got. Adolph.
Matter of fact, I got Adolph going to save me a spot in Richmond Hill tonight.
Very good. So that's the other good thing.
I'm on my way to Ohio.
If you guys get with the trainer, our trainers are great about being a resource once you get out there in your own equipment. You know, something to be able to, if you run into a navigational problem, you know, like Doug Parker had, he's able to call Kevin Barrett, you know. So your former trainers are a great resource to lean on. They want to help you out. That's part of the reasons why they're trainers. And then you got a lot of resources here in the office too. But Robert, man, thank you so much for taking the time,
yes,
brother.
Sir.
Are you going to be here for a little bit?
Well, yeah, I got to hook up and then.
I'll see you here in a little bit. All right,
all right,
brother? I'm going to show them around. So, anyways, just having to see Robert here. That was a good little opportunity to talk to one of our drivers and trainers who lives down there in Avon Park. But as you'll see here at Cypress, I'm going to show you all some of these loads. I probably ought to go around and then come back the other way. Let me go this way so you can kind of see what the loads look like. So this is what flatbed is all about right here. And like I said, most of the stuff that you're going to see here on the yard, which is our primary commodity, is going to be insulation, sheetrock, shingles, rolled steel. You know, let's see what else we have. But right there's your coil load right there. Yep, that's it. So that's a coil load, sheetrock load. You'll see the shingles here, and then basically the rest of this on down is all sheetrock. We're Cypress Truckline Sunbelt Transport together are the largest gypsum hauling company in the country, which is your drywall. So that's a big reason why the majority of our loads are preloaded, pre-tarred. Huh?
Plenty of loads.
Yeah. Plenty of freight. You don't have to worry about miles here. Oh, there's Doc's truck right here. So right here. So that truck right there, if you can see it, David's filming for me, but Doc's been here about 30 years. And what they did for him, he had this old Pete that he was running for years, and all the new trucks that have come in over the years, he would never take them. Stuck with his old truck. So one of the cool things is the owners basically souped his truck up for him, customized it a little bit, put his name on it, gave him a custom paint job. So that's Wilbert Moore, otherwise known as Doc. You'll see his name right there on the front, right there. What's up, Doc? How you doing, buddy? Yeah. Running in lows, buddy. So that is one of the cool things. You know, you got a lot of drivers who have been here 15, 20 years. A lot of drivers who have been loyal. And I think one of the misconceptions is maybe it's a generational thing. I don't know. I'm not old by any means, but, you know, just people thinking they're going to come in and things are, you know, like I said, it's not a vacation, it's work. You earn your spot here. The veteran drivers, my goodness, what an opportunity they have. That's why they stick with us, and the company will take care of you. You know, what you do and the reputation you create here does not go unnoticed, which I think is a beautiful thing. I think it's the right thing. So that goes a long way. And you know, we've got you know, a full shop. That's one of the things I highly recommend you going and looking at the reviews. Obviously, every company out there is going to have some people that have had a negative experience, and no matter what, you can't make everybody happy. But if you come into this, no matter where you go, with a positive mindset, you know, hopefully you find the right fit here, or you find the right fit with whatever company you go with, you know. And like I said, it's a driver's market. There's a ton of opportunities, but I'll turn this way. Here's, you know, we got a safety lane. Safety is a huge, you know, number one in what we do and the success of what we have here. So you know, we got quite a few bays, as you'll see. The drivers come in, do their PMs, and you know, load checks, and this is your regular standard routine. And as y'all are looking here on the yard, you're going to see a big mixture of trucks, ages, models, things like that. We run Pete's, Freightliners, Internationals, all equipped with APUs. They're governed at 65. But up here in Jacksonville, because we do have a lot of local opportunities, you know, you'll see some older equipment. Our local drivers drive our older equipment. You know, you'll see an old Pete right there behind me that we're passing, and then some of the old Freightliners. And but you know, our regional drivers and our road drivers driving, you know, our newer equipment. And then you know, we got a bunch of KWs come in. The company hadn't bought KWs for a long time, Kenworths, and those are all starting to filter in. But anyways, I hope this gives you guys a good indication on where you're at coming out of school. Once you get through training, orientation pays $500 per week, training's $500 a week. We try to pair you up. We got a lot of good trainers down there: Robert Bowles, Kevin Barrett, Jeremy Richards, Luke Drew. So you know, if your trainer's not out of the Fort Myers, Sarasota, Bradenton, Punta Gorda area, they're right up the street in Tampa. Most of them go home every weekend, so there is going to be some home time for you through the training process. After your 7 weeks, start off regional, 48 cents a mile loaded, 40 cents empty for a regional home every weekend. And then if you decide you want to stay out and run 2 weeks at a time, you're rewarded for that. You're paid 49 cents a mile loaded and empty. But if you have any questions, call 800-545-1351. My name's Clay, and we hope to hear from you. Hope to see you here in a few weeks. Best of luck to you in the rest of your training. Lewis, we appreciate everything you do down there, buddy. Keep training them up right. If anybody has any questions, give us a call. Look forward to seeing y'all.